So someone tried making a response to me regarding Batman Arkham Knight. Apparently, he thinks my responses are just that bad. And apparently he stopped watching because I made the very simple point that Batman didn't try to fight Scarecrow because his loved ones were being held hostage. Yeah, that's an actual hill he dies on. We'll get to that later. Fair warning, his production quality isn't very good, so we'll just have to deal with it. Not the end of the world, not a big deal. Let's just hear his points.
These past few months, if he's not late, he's exhausted.
Come home.
The Joker's line is arguably the most telling, because Joker mentions that Batman hasn't been himself these past few months, which is in reference to losing Jason.
So that's not really a reference to losing Jason. I mean, that's your interpretation, but one can also interpret that Batman hasn't really been himself because now he has Robin and Batgirl to help him out.
Then that's a stupid interpretation. Firstly, he still had Barbara when Jason was Robin. How do you think he knew about her?
You think Crane found Oracle on his own? I'm the one who told him about Barbara. Me!
Secondly, he already had Jason as Robin. He also had Dick as Robin, so having a third Robin wouldn't be a sign of Batman not acting like himself. He had sidekicks before Jason died, 2 of them in fact, so your interpretation makes no sense. But you know what's more likely and would actually make sense? You know what recent development would cause Batman to not be himself? Tragically losing one of his Robins to the Joker, which lines up because Tim is Robin now. What do you think this is obviously in reference to?
Best way to cure baby brain is to get rid of the babies.
You know, there's not a single moment in any of the mainline Arkham games where we see Batman being late or looking for Jason Todd at all, unfortunately.
Because all of the Arkham games take place before or after Jason was killed. So of course we're not going to see his search for Jason. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. Batman himself stated that he didn't leave him to die, which implies that he did search for him. Use that brain of yours and infer basic information about the game.
Hasn't been himself these past few months. If he's not late, he's exhausted. If he's not exhausted, he's preoccupied, making all kinds of silly mistakes.
And that can also imply that this is because Batman's getting older as well.
And yet Joker makes a point about how this is because of baby brain, and killing the babies is the solution.
I believe they call it baby brain. Best way to cure baby brain is to get rid of the babies.
If he's referring to Batman getting older, don't you think he would have, I don't know, said that? Why does he instead imply that it's related to his state of mind? He doesn't mention his age, he only mentions his state of mind. What would be affecting his state of mind? Oh right, losing Jason Todd.
In fact, this DLC has one really bad line where Robin comes in and is like, Robins are supposed to be lucky, right? And this is like months after, you know, Jason Todd got kidnapped and tortured.
Wait, you say it's months after? How do you know this? How do you know it's not years after? Is it because a character directly implied this in the story?
You see, Batman hasn't been himself these past few months.
Oh, it is.
Good job.
Best way to cure baby brain is to get rid of the babies.
He's either late to deal with the Joker, arrives exhausted when dealing with the Joker, or
Exhausted? Arkham vs. Batman exhausted? This guy literally stopped multiple assassins in one night, and he was only 2 years in his career.
That doesn't mean he wasn't exhausted, which would naturally happen as the night progresses. He definitely was exhausted by the third act of Origins, but he can still perform. The same applies to whichever situations the Joker is referring to.
Arkham vs. Batman shut down Arkham City in one night while also under the influence of being poisoned and slowly dying. The Arkham Universe version of Batman is the most powerful version of Batman I've ever seen. I don't think there's a single moment where he actually shows signs of being exhausted.
Pointing out that Batman is resilient doesn't prove he can't be exhausted. Is this a serious point I have to address here? Do I actually have to explain that Batman, a human being, is capable of getting exhausted?
Cause hot damn, you wanna know what's a scam? Your fucking education. Nigga, that's what the scam is.
or simply doesn't show up and has Robin or Batgirl deal with it? Why do you think that is? Oh, right, it's because he is searching for Jason and he had...
Well, the reason why he doesn't show up in the Arkham Knight Batgirl DLC because Joker straight up says that if he sees Batman, he's gonna just straight up start killing cops and Jim Gordon.
Which is why I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking about the situations Joker is referring to when he states that if he's not exhausted, he's preoccupied. If Jason was lost months ago, what do you think he'd be preoccupied with as soon as he's gone? Think about that and maybe you'll understand.
So that's why we don't see Batman in the Arkham Knight DLC. or the Batgirl Arkham Knight DLC. Not because he's exhausted or anything. It's part of Joker's game. The game this time is that Batman is not allowed to participate.
Why do you think that is?
See, it used to be simple. I blow things up, he shows up, start all over again. Now there's you two knuckleheads spoiling my game. My game! Not fun.
Oh, right, it's because he's trying to get rid of Batman's sidekicks, like he did before, which he sees as the solution to Batman's recent state of mind, which was clearly caused by losing Jason.
As far as how Jason came across his money, they explain this very clearly. First of all, it's not even his money.
Yeah, that's true. Although Jason's army was $3 billion, and I don't think even the richest Gotham crime lord has that kind of money. I mean,
and how do you know they're incapable of chipping in to significantly increase their funding? Penguin has extensive experience in the criminal business ever since Arkham Origins, which was many, many years ago, and Two-Face constantly robs banks. That's not counting the other villains who are clearly funded decently, such as the Riddler, who has access to robots.
Eddie, you're not going to need $2.73 million in jail, are you? They feed you for free.
Penguin, I don't think he's rich, but not $3 billion rich. No freaking way.
Yeah, and that's why the game didn't say that Penguin himself funded the army. They said that multiple villains chipped in.
Every supervillain around is chipping in on this one. It's all part of Scarecrow's plan.
SK does bring up that Lex Luthor does help out with funding this army, but I don't know. The Arkham Knight guards just say it's just a rumor. I don't really take rumors as fact.
So there's two things to say to this. One, why did the rumors start to begin with? None of the militia members have any established motivation to lie about something like this. Two, why do you think the writers put that in the game? It's almost as if they're alluding to the fact that Lex Luthor is discreetly aiding Scarecrow's operation because he'd have interest in taking out Batman. Because of course he would. This is a supervillain who has interest in Gotham.
Why is he arguing with this random Twitter user? That's just hilarious. You're acting like Ray here is the only person that criticized Arkham Knight's story.
I don't, by virtue of showing other examples of people making criticisms and stating that I've seen these points made in general, not just by these people.
Just because Batman was sent the video faking his death doesn't mean he didn't search for the body. Eventually, Batman would realize that he doesn't have any leads and that his searches are futile.
I don't really buy that at all, Batman not having any leads. At least Arkham vs. Batman. This dude solves multiple crimes on Arkham Origins in one night. Multiple murders in one night. They're optional side quests.
And that's somehow a counter because... why? Just because Batman can solve crimes doesn't mean he's omniscient. If your claim is that Batman should figure something out, then you should point to details that would have told him this information. If you can't do that kind of legwork, then your criticism is incomplete. And at that point, you're not really qualified to be criticizing stories.
Less active as Batman.
When was Batman ever less active as Batman? That's not really shown in any of the games whatsoever.
It's stated by the Joker, he's too preoccupied to deal with him, which implies less activity.
If he's not exhausted, he's preoccupied.
If Batman is busy doing a search far from whatever Joker is up to, then he can have his allies closer to the situation deal with it. And either it gets resolved before Batman shows up, Batman shows up late to resolve it, or Joker calls off the plan entirely if Batman isn't there to deal with it, because that takes away from his fun. His obsession is with Batman, not his allies. He wants them all gone for a reason.
Okay, so I've seen this point made many times, and this is not only addressed numerous times, but...
Oh god, is he about to defend the tank usage? Oh my goodness, the tank battles are like the worst part of this game, outside of the shitty boss fights.
The story, but this presents way too many problems. First of all, putting men in the tanks would make them hesitate and hold back out of fear.
How do you know that?
Because people are generally afraid of Batman, and Jason would know this. This is common sense. I also showed fairly extensive references to prove that the militia wouldn't even be willing to take a risk like this, and why it'd actually be less efficient in maintaining the numbers. But this guy skips over it because he's too lazy to address it.
How do you know that? Have you ever been in the military? I met all sorts of people in the military that, casually, handle tanks and whatnot. I mean, there's literally an entire MOS for that, aka military job.
That doesn't remove the risk of human error. Why do you think training exists? To minimize human error.
It makes them prone to human error. You remove that risk entirely with drone tanks.
What? Hold on. But the drone tanks still fall under errors. They still make mistakes multiple times.
But they're not human errors. Yes, they can make mistakes by missing Batman, but that's not a product of human traits like fear, which causes people to hesitate and make more mistakes. This problem wouldn't exist in the drones, especially if they take manual control in the safety of their own base. The only real errors to be expected would be mechanical limitations, but that doesn't change the fact that human errors simply wouldn't apply to these drones, as Jason implies.
The drone tank AI in this game is not that intelligent.
They aren't always controlled through AI. The commander is shown taking manual control multiple times. You would have seen this if you played the rest of the video, or just played the game.
Like, this is some weak defense, SK. I like this game, but it's like you're trying to just excuse this game from any sort of flaws or criticism.
Or it's possible that your criticism doesn't hold up when you reference what's actually in the game. And here's what I think is deeply ironic about this guy claiming to care about supposed bad writing in Arkham Knight. Now, I don't defend the game on the basis that it's a superhero game so it doesn't have to make sense, because that's lazy and vapid. This guy, however, the entire symbiote plotline, and I have proof of this, doesn't make any sense, to the point
I know that guy.
Here he is in the comments complaining about my criticism of Marvel Spider-Man 2 not making any sense. It reads, "You lost me here. A superhero game not making sense. Good God almighty. Next thing you'll tell me is that Sonic is bad because he's not a realistic hedgehog." I responded with, "Comments like this are why I find it impossible to take you seriously. The arguments are not rooted in realism. They're rooted in internal consistency. The fact you compared Sonic existing to the symbiote having inconsistent mechanics and motivations tells me how out of touch with reality you are." And his response to that is, "Sonic and symbiote aliens aren't real, dude." So let me get this straight. It's okay for you to make these absurd criticisms of Arkham Knight's story under the guise of caring about consistency, but it's not okay for me to point out actual inconsistencies in Marvel Spider-Man 2's story on the basis that it's a superhero game, and you accuse me of trying to excuse the game of any sorts of flaws or criticism?
Ironic.
They don't give up. They don't hesitate. They don't hold back. And they are not afraid of you, man.
And that's just a false statement by Jason.
It's not, because even under the knowledge that Batman doesn't kill, the militia refuses to wear bomb vests to avoid being attacked by Batman, so they would also refuse to enter the tanks and go into direct combat with Batman. It doesn't matter if he doesn't kill, that doesn't mean they're okay with taking the risk.
Any questions? Yeah. You do know that there's no way in hell any of us are wearing suicide vests, right? If you don't want the safety and comfort that only 30 pounds of high-quality explosives strapped to your stomach can provide, then that's your risk to take.
Because these tanks are really stupid and easy to deal with.
So even if that falsehood was true, this is a gameplay argument. This has nothing to do with how they canonically perform.
Now there's another point that SK says that I think is very stupid. I'm just going to skip past him defending the tank nonsense.
Even though it provides more references that justifies what's in the story, but okay.
And on top of this, it's also established that they don't even plan to kill Batman with tanks. They plan to challenge him and want him to perform at his best.
Wait, what was that? Hold on.
And want him to perform at his best.
No, they don't. There's not a single militia soldier that wants Batman to perform his best. They're always complaining about the environment of Gotham.
Wow, it's incredible how you refusing to zip it while the video is playing leads to you blatantly mishearing what was actually said. I never said any militia members wanted Batman at his best. I said Scarecrow and Arkham Knight did. Here's the clip. It's also established that they don't even plan to kill Batman with the tanks. They plan to challenge him and want him to perform at his best.
Come on then, hero! Let's see if you can keep up with me! Nice shooting! Wish you could be in there, but then, you just hold back!
The reason Jason wants the challenge is because it increases the thrill of fighting him.
You're good, Dark Knight. Even better than I remember. It's gonna make it even more satisfying when I kill you.
The reason Scarecrow wants the challenge is because in death, Batman has nothing left to fear. The more they draw this out, the more Batman is left in fear and the more he suffers. It becomes more meaningful to say that Batman is the hero who failed when he actually puts up a good fight.
The first meeting that the Arkham Knight has with Batman when he's in the helicopter, he literally tries to shoot him down, but then Scarecrow somehow hacks his helicopter. Is like, no, we have to scare him first. Like, that is such a stupid writing moment.
Scarecrow also has access to the militia vehicles, and Jason was growing impatient because of how long it took to prepare for this plan, when all Jason wanted was to hold the city ransom and make Batman afraid before killing him.
You think you can just bring tanks into Gotham? We hold the city ransom. We create panic, then chaos, distraction. As they run scared, we emerge, take over his habitat. Every rooftop, road, and back alley. We draw him out of the shadows and chip away until he has nowhere left to hide. And no one left to hide behind.
Scarecrow wants to go the extra miles to cover the eastern seaboard and frame Batman as the hero who failed his city, which is an aspect of the plan that Jason is less adamant about, but he gets reasoned into following under the condition that Batman has to die tonight, and Scarecrow can't draw this out any further.
We have not broken him yet. It will come. Now I've waited long enough. Batman dies. Tonight. Your revenge is at hand. This is his last night. I'll make sure of it.
Oh my goodness, it's like you didn't pay attention to the game. But yeah, Jason's talking shit, but he straight up doesn't want to be challenged by Batman. He genuinely wants to kill him.
He literally provokes him to perform at his best. That's why he's trash talking, as you put it. And he's about to play a clip where he directly implies that he doesn't want Batman to hold back.
The reason Jason wants the challenge is because it increases the thrill of fighting him.
Wrongity wrong. No.
I literally play a clip afterwards where he says Batman performing better makes it more satisfying for when he kills him. That's showing his obsession with one-upping Batman is increasing as the story goes along, since getting further into the action is what increases the thrill of the mission for Jason. It increases his temptations to challenge Batman and show off how prepared he is for him.
The reason why Jason doesn't kill Batman is because Scarecrow won't let him.
But he proceeds to bring this up to Scarecrow, and he gets assured by the fact that this is the last night Scarecrow will draw this out, and he will have his chance to kill him. So if that's the case, Jason might as well have as much fun as he can messing with Batman until he gets the order, and by engaging further with Batman, his obsessions grow and he enjoys taunting him more and more. He only starts to get angrier and less patient when the Cloudburst plan is failing and he sees the delay as a liability that they can no longer afford.
Dark Knight, even better than I remembered. It's gonna
But yeah, there are a lot of moments where Jason Todd is talking trash, but it's not really genuine. He 100% wants Batman dead.
How is it not genuine? He has sadistic tendencies and temptations. We literally see this in his first conversation with Scarecrow.
If you want him dead, why come to me? You seem capable. He needs to suffer. I suffered, so he will too.
Jason isn't insincere about wanting to challenge Batman. He's laughing while he's being cryptic around him and is boasting each time he predicts his plans. That's showing how his obsession is growing, and that aligns with him stating that Batman performing better adds to the satisfaction of killing him. Literally right there, he's telling you that his obsession with challenging Batman is growing the better he performs, because in the end, he still knows how Batman operates.
even more second. And it's fine when I kill you.
Again, he's not being again though, that dialogue doesn't really work because it sounds more like a bluff. Because again,
how is it a bluff if it directly aligns with his actions? You say he needs to kill him. The game outlines that his encounters with Batman ups the thrill of the mission, and he gets more and more enjoyment from making Batman suffer. What he says matches his actions. That's the opposite of a bluff.
Because in death, Batman has nothing left to fear. The more they draw this out, the more Batman is left in fear, and the more...
And that's another stupid thing too about Scarecrow. Like he's just obsessed with scaring Batman. The Scarecrow has like multiple moments to kill Batman and Arkham Knight, but just doesn't.
Because he literally sees that as mercy. Did you pay attention to the story?
I will kill him. Very well. But know this. It will be an act of mercy when you do.
Now with Joker, the reason why he doesn't kill Batman immediately most of the time is because Joker genuinely loves the thrill. He loves, the cat chase between him and Batman.
Oh my god. So does Scarecrow. He gets a thrill out of using fear to make him suffer. Why is this acceptable for the Joker and not the guy whose entire gimmick is a toxin that makes you suffer in fear, not even die straight away?
But with Scarecrow, he has more of a motivation, and there are just moments where he could have just put a bullet inside Batman and he just doesn't. And it's just very poorly written. It makes no sense.
What motivation does Scarecrow have to kill him immediately? He said he wants to make him suffer. It would go against his character if he did try to kill him.
Taking a cheap shot on someone is to take the easy way out.
Well, that's retarded. That's just retarded writing right there. I mean, you had years to take the easy way out when it comes to Batman.
He doesn't want to. That's the point the game is making. He literally sees the easy way out as mercy.
And as the game show, if you don't take out Batman immediately, he's going to make a comeback and fuck you up.
Unless you know exactly how he operates, which is the basis for Jason and Scarecrow's confidence in their victory, even if they draw it out.
So yeah, that's just retarded writing right there.
Well, it carries more weight when Batman actually had a fighting chance and failed anyway, and that's more soul-crushing to Batman because he would lose hope after holding on to it for...
Lose hope? What is this, an anime? No, it would have just made way more sense to just kill him, like, fuck crushing his soul. But no, they can't just kill him because, you know, bad writing.
So it's bad writing that a sadistic character would rather painfully draw out someone's suffering instead of taking them out immediately. Do you even hear yourself? Your argument boils down to, this is the optimal strategy, so they should just do it. Newsflash, that's not how people operate. Not everyone operates on what the most optimal decisions in any situation would be. They act based on their established character traits, which may or may not lead to flawed decision-making.
Fighting chance and failed anyway, and that's more soul-crushing to Batman because he would lose hope.
Even then, it doesn't really matter if Batman loses hope because Batman ends up winning anyway.
That's irrelevant to whether or not they'd want Batman to lose hope before killing him.
Hope after holding on to it for so long. This criticism is so non-functional that I needed a full page just to cover this. But that...
More like full copium just to cover this.
As if your entire video isn't a cope session in itself. You'd like to know a response that would actually be cope, saying it's just a superhero game so it doesn't have to make sense. Oh wait, that's something you said.
This is just bad writing, dude. Play Arkham City. It's less stupid than this game.
Guys, why doesn't Hugo Strange just kill Bruce right here? He knows he's Batman. Guys, why doesn't the Joker just kill Batman while he's strapped to a chair? Wait, what do you mean they don't want to kill him right now? Well, that's just bad writing.
Feels like an extremely flimsy excuse, on the level of, we can't hurt you until we've made you suffer despite having ample opportunity to kill you multiple times.
Yeah, this guy makes a good point right here. Thank you for giving him a shout out, because this guy makes a much more reasonable criticism towards the game. And you're just trying to... that's the thing about SK, he's just dick sucking the game so hard for no real reason. Like, you're allowed to like shitty writing.
Oh, I know. You defend Marvel Spider-Man too.
I like Arkham Knight, despite the fact that it's pretty shitty written at sometimes.
It feels like a plot band-aid than legit storytelling.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, this seems like a flimsy excuse to defend a criticism that doesn't make sense.
How does it not make sense?
Maybe play the rest of the video and you'll find out.
It makes way more sense for them to just kill Batman when they had the chance, instead of just trying to crush his spirit. Like, that's just some anime shonen garbage right there.
Basic character consistency is anime garbage, apparently.
Like, fuck off, SK.
I understand that logical explanations are offensive to you, and I'm very sorry that offends you.
Scarecrow strap him to a gurney at gunpoint just so we can have him unmasked before the world. Because if there's one person Batman can't overpower, it's a frail man with a pistol.
Yeah, that's a really stupid moment in the game. Like, okay, so if you haven't played Arkham Knight, during the ending, Scarecrow somehow manages to capture Robin. I mean, I guess Robin was behind a cell where he couldn't defend himself. But when I play as Robin in Arkham Knight, you know, he's a pretty overpowered character. You know, once he was out of that cell, he should have put up more of a fight.
There would have been numerous guards with guns surrounding him. Even in the gameplay that exaggerates what you can survive for gameplay reasons, you would die easily. He's not putting up any fight.
In fact, why didn't Scarecrow use his fear toxin on Robin?
Because that doesn't benefit his plan. He just needs them as hostages so he can expose Batman.
So then Scarecrow just holds Gordon and Robin hostage up at gunpoint, and it makes no sense because there are so many moments in Arkham Origins and in Arkham City where, in fact, even in Arkham Asylum, where characters are being held at gunpoint with fully automatic weapons, by the way, and Batman's able to just take them down. Because this version of Batman, he's like a freaking ballet dancer. He can pretty much attack someone from 10 feet away, even when they're armed or not, you know. But somehow Scarecrow with a pistol, you know, Batman's like, oh no, I can't stop Scarecrow now.
It's funny you should say that, because when I look back at the Arkham games, I remember hostage situations like this a bit differently. Here's this one from Arkham City.
Take a look at your girlfriend, who, as you can see, is in danger of having her pretty little brains splattered all over this camera. Oh, how romantic. Only problem is, I've never felt better, and we both know you really can't ignore me, can you? You better hurry, though. If you take too long, the leading lady may be found dead in her dressing room.
Hurry up and take your seat, Batman. The show's about to begin.
Let's just talk about this.
Batman, what do you mean, let's just talk about this? It's one guy with a gun. You could take him out easily.
Talia!
Batman, why didn't you just save Talia? It's one guy with a gun.
Let's pep him up.
Batman, why didn't you stop Joker from shooting the dart? It's just one guy with a gun. Do you see how silly it is to criticize Arkham Knight or any story for that matter this way?
In fact, why didn't Batman just sneak his way into Arkham Asylum?
Because this requires him to leave the building, and Scarecrow literally has video cameras in the room. He can see if Batman walks outside or goes to the truck, and if he can't contact his driver, he'll know straight away that Batman did something. There's no way he can sneak out without being noticed, and if they even suspect that Batman is going against their orders, they can just shoot Jim and Tim, even broadcast themselves doing that. And as if this criticism wasn't bad enough already, there's another layer to this that decimates any level of credibility this criticism can have. Remember when Batman lost Simon Stagg?
Where's Scarecrow?
He's on the second airship.
Did he have anyone with him?
Oh, you mean Barbara Gordon?
I think we both know she's probably dead, don't we, Bats?
Target is secured. We're bringing him to Arc 2. Over.
Batman! No!
Nearly, Bats. I could feel you losing control there.
He lost him because he was under the fear toxin, which can impede his work at any time. This also happened when he lost the Arkham Knight.
Sir, the Arkham Knight. Did you subdue him? He's gone. You, don't sound entirely sure, sir.
And the entire reason Batman is having these fear toxin-induced visions of the Joker is because he's literally afraid that at any moment, the Joker could just take over his mind and go against what Batman actually wants. So if any of what I've just talked about happens when he's trying to save Jim and Tim, this would get him caught and they would die. And that's assuming that somehow Scarecrow missed Batman going against his orders despite having cameras in the room. And we know that would happen because during the truck ride, he starts having a fear toxin-induced vision. So if he actually did what you were asking him to do, at some point he would have gotten distracted by the fear toxin and he would have failed completely.
Good job.
He could have just grappled and glided to Arkham Asylum and, just sneak in and then just take down Scarecrow when his guard is down.
Why would Scarecrow have his guard down? He's expecting Batman to obey his orders. If he knows Batman isn't doing that, then his guard will be up at all times, which is why he has Batman on camera.
I mean, that's how Batman stopped Zsasz in Arkham City. He just waited for Zsasz to let his guard down.
I think you meant Arkham Asylum. Regardless, you're comparing one guy to Scarecrow, who has a militia army at his command. A militia that is trained to predict and understand how Batman operates. And the only reason this worked on Zsasz is because Batman was hiding behind a corner. The difference is that Batman is in a room where cameras are on him so they'd be able to see what he does. And Batman is closer to Zsasz so he has more of a chance to reach him. What you're suggesting is Batman to somehow travel miles away to get to Scarecrow and somehow not be caught doing so, when he would have seen this straight away because he literally has cameras in the room.
Oh my fucking god, man. He's such an idiot.
So Jim and Tim are literally being held hostage.
Again, hostage situations in the Arkham games, they don't work out.
Talia!
If you play these games, you know how easy it is for Batman to take down people holding others hostage.
Which is often because they don't see Batman and he gets the drop on them. The problem is that Scarecrow would see Batman violating his orders because guess what? He has cameras in the room.
He has video cameras, you idiot!
In fact, in Arkham City, in the church, when Cash and the other Arkham City police people, or whatever they're called, the medical team, when they're being held hostage by Harley Quinn's men, Batman literally says, four guards, multiple hostages, this is going to be easy. He didn't directly say that, but he did say it was easy.
That's because they don't see him, and these are generic goons that Batman thinks are stupid, not criminal masterminds like Scarecrow.
That idiot thinks he's safe in the confessional. He's just made it easier for me to get in behind him.
And again, for the 50th goddamn time, they don't have cameras watching like Scarecrow does.
It doesn't matter if he can take down Scarecrow or not. What matters is that people he cares about would get shot if he tried.
Again, play the other... Is Arkham Knight the only game you played? Is it the only Batman Arkham game you played? Because there are multiple moments in the series where Batman saves people being held hostage. Fucking idiot.
This is like expecting Batman in The Dark Knight just to run at the Joker when he held rape.
Well, this is a different version of Batman. The Dark Knight Batman is a lot more realistic and grounded.
The amount of cope I just heard with so few words is astounding to me. It's a different version, that's your counter? So you actually think, if Arkham Batman was in this situation, which he was in Arkham City, he should just be able to get the Joker immediately? What version of Batman moves so fast that he can travel several meters before someone gets shot point blank? And what's worse is that the Joker is watching Batman in the same room. Scarecrow is watching Batman from miles and miles away, so Arkham Batman actually has more distance to cover without being caught, which again, wouldn't work because he's on camera.
But in the Arkham universe, Batman is stealthy as fuck. Like, he can literally... He literally takes down an entire army in the game.
That doesn't mean you can outrun a bullet, which is why he doesn't try your dumb idea in Arkham City.
Oh my gosh, you're just fucking. I'm only 10 minutes in the video. I can't listen to SK's retarded excuses for the story. Like, goddamn, you're fucking dumb.
That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
This response was hilariously and embarrassingly bad. I don't know how you thought any of what you said was remotely intelligent. Either you're just that bad at responding to arguments, or you're just a troll. And if so, it's a damn good troll because I had a lot of fun responding to this. And it's not unbelievable that people would actually think that these points make sense. With that said, wasn't expecting to make this video, but I had fun doing it anyway. It's a nice addition to my Arkham collection on the channel. Thank you all for watching, be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.